to Cooking with Daddy. It's called Cooking with Daddy because I'm his dad and he's my son. So, welcome to Cooking with Daddy. I'm Jay. What's your name?
Kalib.
And today we are actually going to do a recipe that I don't really have a recipe for, which is why I had this thing on that says, you know, real men don't use recipes, because I kind of never use recipes. Okay, so here's what it is for me. I tend to be a person that just makes up stuff. So today, I don't really know what this is called. I'm thinking I'm gonna call it piece of chicken. What you think? All right, so let me show you what we have right here. So right now we have some boneless, thinly sliced chicken breasts in a skillet that we're actually gonna pop in the oven. I put some olive oil in the bottom of that, so that's prepared. We have in here, if you come over here, camera lady, you can't come over here, camera lady, so I'll just do like this. Is that helpful? What y'all don't see is we're trying to charge the camera at the same time. All right, so what's in here is some roasted red bell peppers, as well as, thank you son, some mixed bell peppers and some onions, yes. And maybe a teaspoon of olive oil that I have put in here as well. Let me just put this in a food processor. And we're gonna put this inside this bowl, and in this bowl, I'll just come to you since you can't come to me. In this bowl, we just have some regular old Campbell's tomato soup. So, we're gonna pop this in here. Get as much of that out of there as we can. And we're just gonna mix this up. And then Kalib, I'm gonna ask you to open this garlic. You can't open it?
No.
And I'm gonna ask you to do, let's do a tablespoon of the garlic in there. Yep, pop that in there. All right. And then, I, again, don't tend to use the recipe, so I'm just gonna shake these basil leaves in here until my little heart is content.
Garlic really does not smell good.
You don't like the smell of garlic? Well, here's what's about to happen to make it even worse. We're also about to put some granulated garlic in here. All right, so lightly, because garlic is overpowering, so lightly shake that in there. A little more. A little more. That's good, thank you. All right, and we're just gonna mix as we go. And what we're gonna end up doing is tasting as we go as well. Kalib, I'm gonna have you help me. You don't wanna taste as we go? I'm gonna have you help me real quick. So I'm gonna have you sprinkle pepper all over this, all over the chicken. And then we're also gonna do some salt as well. So while he's shaking the pepper, which is gonna take a little bit of time, the reason why we do Cooking with Daddy is because, if you guys don't know, we have 4 children. So it's one of our ways of just taking some time to spend some personal time with the kids. Kalib, do you like spending personal time with me?
Yes.
Why do you like spending personal time with me?
Because it's just fun.
Do you like cooking with me?
Yes.
What's fun about that?
I get to make new things that I've never made before.
Yeah. So one of the things that I lightly sprinkle this, because this comes out really fast. This is salt he's adding on top of that. One of the things I love about cooking with them in the kitchen is that it reminds me of my own childhood. I grew up in a household where my mom was a cook, as well as my stepfather was a cook as well. And I don't really remember ever going out to restaurants as a kid, because literally anything that we wanted, they could just make in the house. And so I'm trying to groom my kids and help them be prepared to live on their own someday. Yes, live on their own someday. No? You're not excited about that? Nevertheless, I want them to just be able to enjoy food. They obviously like to eat, as most kids do, but I also want them to be able to enjoy the process of actually creating food as well. So we've seasoned our chicken with salt and pepper. As I said, we have some olive oil underneath of that. We put some seasoning in here in the bowl. So what we're gonna do, Kalib, get a little spoon. Actually, did you want to get your apron on? I forgot to let you do that. All right, so this is gonna be super random. We have a bag of silverware in one of our drawers because we just switched silverware. And I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. While we're filming this, all of our silverware is dirty. So here we are, back to the bag of old silverware. But Kalib, we are going to taste as we go.
I did not sign up for this.
Yes, you did though. It's actually great. Alright, set that over here to the side. Alright, so I'm gonna do something really weird. I tend to be a person that just uses what's in our refrigerator, so my brother-in-law left some beer here. So here we are. Just gonna pour this in here.
What?
And we're gonna mix this up. And then, Kalib, I'm gonna ask you to add a little bit of Italian seasoning because I'm not that big of a fan of it to it. And then we're gonna do a little bit of this all-purpose seasoning as well. Go ahead, you can do more than that. Yep, keep going. All right, that's good. And then add a little bit of that all-purpose seasoning. That's good. All right, and then Kalib, you get the lovely job of getting to crush oregano. Actually, we got this as a Christmas gift from one of my wife's aunts. And so here we are finally using that. I guess you can open this yourself. No, just open it. That's not how you open a sandwich bag. You don't know how to open a sandwich bag? Here you go. So get a small handful, and then you're just gonna crush that inside of there.
Like this?
Crush it, so you don't want big flakes in it. Let's move this so they can see. Yep. All right, so I'm gonna mix this up again.
So this is pizza sauce?
Essentially, yeah, we're kind of making our own.
With beer?
Yes, we're making our own pizza sauce. Yeah. And don't ask me how this is gonna taste because I have no idea. All right, so traditionally when you're cooking and you're on a chef show, you don't use the same spoon to taste it, but this is our family, so yeah. What'd you say, camera lady?
You can't taste it because of the beer.
Oh, what are you? You can taste it once it cooks out. By the way, the camera lady is my wife and his mom. It tastes good. So here's the only thing I think it needs. Here's a little bit of this kosher salt.
More kosher salt?
Well, we put some on that, yeah. And the reason why it is, tomato soup is a tad sweeter than your traditional
tomato sauce.
pizza sauce. Alright, so.
Keep eating.
I know. Alright, I think we're good now. Alright, Kalib, so I'm gonna give you the honor of pouring this over top of the chicken. Good job, son. Alright, let me help you a little bit. Alright, pop that in the sink for us. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kind of shake this around, and then I'm just gonna kind of smooth this out because I want the tomato sauce to be all over the chicken so that the chicken gets seasoned
And Jail has to do all our dirty dishes for us.
and gets enveloped with the tomato sauce. And then, Megan, come over here and show these people this cabinet. All right, look, our cabinet. You can. You could just do this. So,
Pretty simple.
our cabinet somehow is broken, and none of the kids know how that happened. But here it is. However, we've been here for 10 years, so that's the kind of stuff that happens when you've been in a place for 10 years. So what we're gonna do?
Almost my entire life.
Yeah, you were
One.
when we moved in here, and JL was just a few months old. So, all right. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna pop this in the oven. We are gonna put cheese on top of this, but we're gonna wait to do that until the chicken is pretty much done, and then we're gonna put the cheese on top, melt it, and brown it. So we're gonna pop this in the oven. Put this on the bottom rack. And in the meantime, between time, me and Caleb are gonna answer some questions. All right. So I have a question for you, but then you get to ask me a question.
Okay.
All right. So Caleb, what is your favorite food? And I did not pick this out. It just happened to be the first one that I grabbed. What is your favorite food?
Pizza.
Is that really your favorite food?
Yes.
Okay. How about your favorite dessert?
Cookies and cream ice cream cake.
Ooh. What is something that you didn't like when you were young to eat?
Sweet potatoes.
You still don't like sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my turn. What you want to ask me?
How would you describe a good life?
Well, because we're filming Cooking with Daddy, I'm going to say good food, which is actually one of the biggest reasons why me and Megan travel in general is because we're foodies. So I would say a good life is enjoying good food. I think having time with your family, doing what we're doing right now, spending quality time with each other. I think a good life is living the life that you want to live, whatever that may be. I think a lot of times we think a good life means being rich or being celebrities and things like that, but I think that picture can look different for you no matter who you are, so that's my answer.
And what's something awesome about your life?
Ooh. Something awesome about my life is...
Me!
Something awesome about my life is that I get to create my own schedule as it relates to what I do for work and being able to spend time with you guys and being able to kind of drop you off at school and pick you up. Is something that is really, really, really important. So I'm grateful that I get to manage my own schedule. That's not everybody's life. That's not everybody's story. So, yeah.
And what is the best present you ever received?
You already know what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so my best friends are probably watching this video and they already know the answer as well. But the best gift that I've ever received came from them, and they gave me a mason jar full of strawberry chapstick brand chapstick. And I cried. I cried not because, well, yeah, I cried because it was like a sentimental gift. I'm a very big chapstick person. I hate having chapped lips. And what it meant was they really were listening to what my concerns are, my cares for my life. So it was really cool to me that they heard that. So yes, that was my favorite.
He's got his chapstick right here.
Actually, that's not mine, that's Chase's. Haha, it's sure.
But
I do have mine. I do have mine in my pocket.
In his pocket.
So right now the chicken is cooking. I have the oven on 350. So I'm gonna let that cook for about 25 to 30 minutes. It's thinly sliced chicken breast, so it shouldn't take too long. And then we'll come back and let you see what it looks like once it's cooked in the tomato sauce. We'll put the cheese on top, and then we're gonna taste it. Are you ready to taste it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll be back.
We're back.
All right, party people, welcome back. So it's done now. It's marinated and it's cooked and it's become the yummy piece of goodness.
It's been so long.
The yummy piece of goodness that we've been waiting on. So now, Kalib, you're gonna actually take the cheese and sprinkle it on top. We have two different kinds of cheese. One is a Mexican blend. What is this one?
Steak cheddar.
Different types of cheddar. So I'm gonna let you coming out of this one. Just a little bit at a time, all around. You can get in here, camera lady. You can see this. So they can see this cheese. Alright. I'm gonna use the rest of mine. You're gonna use all yours. And he's eating. So I'm gonna pop this in the oven on broil just for probably like 2 or so minutes, and then it should be ready to go. And I'm gonna actually plate this over some pasta. By the way, I know y'all noticed earlier I didn't have a thing on here. This is brought to you by Pampered Chef. Maybe I'll get me an endorsement with them one day. I'm gonna pop this back in here. Alright guys, so what we have here is the, what did I call it? Chicken pizza? Pizza chicken? Pizza chicken, I think is what I call it. Nevertheless, we have this right here on top of...
Chicken pizza would be...
Yeah, that would be chicken on pizza. So we have this on top of some butter noodles. Oh, back up. Alright, you can take that piece right there. I'm gonna get a piece of noodle. And then you gotta wait. We're gonna taste it together. And we'll see.
I can't get any noodle.
You gotta try.
Go.
I'm about to eat without you.
Ready, set.
It's hot.
I don't care. Okay.
I told you. But it's super good. What do you think? Anything you would change?
No.
Tastes good? All right. Well, that's our episode. You want to say bye to the people?
Bye.
Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next time in our kitchen on Cooking with Daddy. So.